Okay, everybody, I am back with a brand new DC update. And yes, no sooner did I get my video up yesterday when some pretty cool promotional shots got released all over the interwebs. And so we're going to look at the few things that I've gathered since yesterday. And to kind of address my video yesterday, I do want to make a correction on something. The documentation that I was going through, that I was reading about, that I can't show, was for year 2021. And Peacemaker actually came out in 2022. And a few people did point this out. And yes, I understand that. It still doesn't negate the fact that the Suicide Squad was never on their radar for views, for engagement, for anything. It was not the hit they said it was. And on top of that, I do have the information for year 2022, and it's the same thing. Peacemaker is not discussed. It's not an anchor for HBO Max, and it never was. We were lied to. Again, to reiterate my last video, we were lied to. But do you expect anything less from Warner Brothers Discovery? I don't at this stage. I'm not surprised by anything. All right, guys, so let's take a look at the photos I have grabbed since yesterday. So I only have a couple of things to show today, but the big thing that has been all over the internet since yesterday was the fact that Hal Jordan, actually played by Ryan Reynolds, was actually going to be in Zack Snyder's Justice League before the studio told him no. Now, I reported on this a long time ago. And I always knew that they were trying to get Ryan Reynolds back as Hal Jordan. I know that Zack Snyder has talked about it, and I have talked about this in the past. I used to have the actual quote by him, but they were trying to work that out when this was all being done, and it was going to be pretty awesome to tie it all together. But here are some concept art that was done for Zack Snyder's Justice League, and I got to tell you, that suit is amazing. And I do have a couple of photos to look at. This was the first. Here is a full shot of the whole thing. And I am really digging this suit. Like, I think it looks pretty dang snazzy and would have worked really well for the film and for, these otherworldly, basically space cowboys. Here we kind of get a look at what this would look like in toy form. Maybe something from McFarlane Toys. But this is what that suit would look like without the glow on it. And here is a more close-up shot of that suit. I just really think this is pretty freaking cool. And it would have been really cool to see both Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart together. It would have just been epic. But again, the studio would not let Zack Snyder do it, which is a terrible shame. Here's one more final shot, just a front shot there. Now, the other big thing that I had to show here today, and then we're going to look at a couple of other smaller things, is somebody asked James Gunn yesterday, will you be writing and directing more stuff for the DCU? James Gunn responded and said, that's what I'm here for. No, you're not, dude. No, you are not. You were not hired as a writer and director of these DC projects. I have a feeling he is going to be the director for Supergirl, the Woman of Tomorrow. I'm just telling you guys right now. I think that's what they're gearing up for. And that's why he did cast her. And what's crazy, he was never hired for this. He was supposed to be the co-CEO of Warner Brothers. The DC studios. Name any other CEO or co-CEO of a company that is out there doing what James Gunn is doing. It's because the company is broke, people. They don't have any money. And so they're having to do this stuff in-house using James Gunn. I wish that they would come out and finally admit that this was all a sham, that everything about his hiring was a sham, that this was all planned out long before he came in, that this is what they're doing. But Warner Brothers is never honest with people. They're never honest with anything. So this is something that's interesting, and I don't know if this is going to have any relevance on stuff coming up, but it says Marvel and DC are reteaming to basically republish their crossover comics that have been out of print for years. Now, I think this is a cool idea. I think this would go over really well. Nostalgia is big, and comic books really haven't hit that nostalgia mark. Now, I mentioned this a little bit with, the whole Death in the Family storyline and only coming out with the version where Robin doesn't get killed, but it would have been nice to get the other 3 issues to go along with it. So hopefully they tap into stuff like this. I think there's going to be a market for this, and I think it'll do really well and is good for the publishing side of the business. All right, now the last thing I have to show you guys, and I thought this was kind of funny, and tell me if you think this is real. I laughed when I saw this. It says, @RealJamesGunn. Now, I went to this guy's profile, and he just has a DC logo and has not published anything on YouTube. But this is in regards to my hard R and filthy video that I put up about Creature Commandos yesterday, and I think that's a terrible way to start this new universe, and it is. It's disgusting, as a matter of fact. But he came out and said, keep my name out of your effing mouth. I'm here to restore DC from Snyder, who destroyed and making flop after flop. Doesn't even have proper grammar. I'm assuming this isn't James Gunn, but who knows? But James Gunn's coming after me, guys. James Gunn's pissed that I'm talking about him. All right, so there are the videos that I've gathered since yesterday. It's been kind of quiet, but I think things are going to be ramping up shortly. So if you aren't sticking to my channel, or you haven't subscribed or hit that notification bell, you're definitely going to miss some videos, because sometimes I have to do 2-3 videos a day talking about a lot of this stuff. And I do have a lot more content coming up. I'm in the process of doing some branding for my channel, and so that will be rolling out shortly, as well as getting set up for subscriptions and some other things. All right, guys, I do appreciate all of the support. What do you guys think about these new concept art pieces that got released? Again, I think we were robbed of getting something great in lieu of getting something that's going to be mediocre or mid at best. All right, guys, I do appreciate all the support. If you haven't already liked the video, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell, and you will be notified as I have new videos go up.